Archer and the Devil.
There's climbing, which is you taking a barefaced mountain and going, not a bareface, it hasn't got bareface, sorry. I went ice climbing in Iceland and my ass was out. I was wearing shorts. I was wearing this outfit pretty much, right? And my ass was out and I knew it was out because it was cold.
Now, they all went crazy for girl power.
Did you go crazy for girl power?
They're basically the suffragettes of our generation.
Oh my God. Welcome to the Archer and the Devil podcast experience. Throw it in there.
Yeah.
Episode 44.
Okay. Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
It feels like about a month since the last episode.
Do you think?
I'm not saying for you it might, but for me today I was thinking like, we haven't done a podcast in ages. No, it's been the same amount of time it always is.
Was it exactly the same day?
I can't remember.
It's not far off.
No, but like it just seems like it's been a really, really long time.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fucking good.
Most importantly, are you a crypto millionaire? Yes or no?
I am not.
No. So, last week we talked about cryptocurrency.
We did.
We said, and we would like to reiterate this fact, we know nothing about cryptocurrency. So, like any good podcasters would do, we bought some cryptocurrency.
We invested. Well,
Why not?
You invest in us. We invest in the things we
Correct.
talk about.
So, you know what I mean? Like, we're like, well, we can't talk about crypto if we haven't got no crypto.
Yeah.
So we
Cryptoed
purchased,
up.
we went balls to the wall.
Yes.
And we invested £200.
Thousands of pounds.
£200 between us.
Yeah.
And bought cryptocurrency.
Yeah, we bought Doge
Yeah.
and Ethereum.
Correct. We both bought the same, which was, looking back, probably a mistake.
Yeah.
Because we probably should have split it.
Yeah. Like, I'll buy this one, you buy that one.
Yeah, I've literally just thought about that now. We could have had 4 different ones.
I'll get Bitcoin and something else. And
that would have made more sense.
Yeah.
Hey, see, this is why we're not millionaires.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the whole point of it was, as we talked about last week, Elon's appearance on
SNL.
Saturday Night Live, and we was all banking on the Doge community.
Yes.
Us.
We're now part of that.
Was banking on, hoping, praying that the minute he talked about it, as he says, to the moon.
Yes.
That was they had a hashtag and everything.
That wasn't what happened though.
And what what happened?
Right. I think it was someone.
I've got the perfect sound effect. What happened?
I read 8 seconds into the start of SNL.
Is that all it was?
It crashed.
Oh my God.
It absolutely crashed. So when we brought in, I think it was at like 47p.
Yeah, I had a nightmare, Mr. Technology.
I brought it. Well, we had a conversation, so should we do it? Oh, fuck it. So I brought mine.
What we actually did was, we discussed it the day before.
Yeah.
And went, maybe we should get in on this. Okay, cool. That day, it hit its highest peak it had ever been at.
Which was 49, I think it was.
And this was like last Tuesday,
Monday or
Wednesday.
Tuesday, yeah.
So then we was like, we've got to get into it.
Yeah.
So we bought into it just under the highest it's ever been.
Well,
top tip, never do that. Don't do that. It's a bad idea.
Hey, we know fuck all. We have established this. So I was like, it's only going to keep getting higher. Because I was watching it and I was like, fuck, it was 44 like 3 hours ago.
Yeah.
And then it was 46 and now it's 48 and now it's 49. I'm like, we're going to fuck up. So it dropped a little bit and I was like, I'm in now.
Yeah, so you got in at
47p.
I couldn't buy it because me, and I got in at 49p.
I'm out. I'm done.
So angry.
I'm done. But what's happened? I can't sign in.
It was asking me to verify my face. I was taking pictures of myself. I was doing all this shit on the fucking. I was like, oh my, what is. It's like, please verify. It literally says next to my name, verified.
Yeah.
And every time I pressed buy, it was like, please verify your account. I was like, you're taking the piss. This is you've always said it's a sign. This is a sign for me not to do it.
Okay.
Should have listened to that sign because I'm 30 quid out of pocket. So we bought it. Elon went on Saturday Night Live and it immediately crashed and we lost 20% of our investment.
Went up to 52.
Yeah.
I think 53 is where it peaked. And then everyone just started dumping their stock. Like everyone. They panicked. That's the problem. Because the thing is, he did mention it. He mentioned it twice. I've seen his monologue, which is weird.
Right.
Because he's weird.
Yeah.
He did say he's the first person to ever host SNL who's got Asperger's.
Right.
And I get that he's got Asperger's when he talks.
It explains a lot of things.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
He got his mom on there. That was weird because she was reading from a teleprompter and she couldn't do it very well.
Because old people.
You could see she was almost like, I need more words, like dragging out her sentences. And then he said, because it was Mother's Day in America.
Right.
And he was like, I hope you enjoy your Mother's Day present. And she's like, I hope it's not Doge. And he went, it is. And then later he was on another bit and someone was like, so what's Doge? And he explained something. He's like, okay, but what's Doge? And he explains it in another way. And he goes, oh, okay. But what's Doge?
Right.
And then in the end, he's like, it's a hustle. He's like, oh, okay. So I think everyone was just like, oh, it's a hustle. Dump it, dump it. Is that
a hustle as in it's hard work? Or is it a hustle as in it's a bit of a fucking con?
I think the way the guy was like, oh, so it's a hustle. He's like, yeah, it's a hustle. It's a bit of a con. It's not a con. It's a genuine thing.
According to my app that I've got, it says that it's a baby Bitcoin. And it has what was the word it used?
Well, to put it into
foundations of Bitcoin.
Yeah, to put it into context.
That started as a joke.
Bitcoin is so at time of recording, Doge is worth this is in British pounds sterling. Doge is worth 0.34, so 34 pence.
So I bought in at 49. It's now worth 35
pence. Bitcoin is worth.
Sorry, it's because we're connected to the Bluetooth.
We have one rule.
Yeah, but it's on silent, but it's connected to the Bluetooth, and you'll see why shortly.
Okay then. Bitcoin is worth 40,000.
What? Oh my god.
So 43p.
Yeah.
Sorry, 34p for one.
So it's 43 pence for one Dogecoin.
One Dogecoin, yeah.
Right.
But for one Bitcoin, it's 40,000. So when we bought Ethereum, we brought 0.008%.
That's right, yeah, because we own actual whole Dogecoins. Yeah. I own 200.
I own 61.6.
And so Ethereum coins, we own 0.00019%.
Yeah, something like that. It's a tiny amount.
It's like a little tiny bit.
But that one we've got money on.
Yeah, I'm £10 up on that one.
I'm £5 up on that one.
But Dodge to the moon went to the fucking floor.
But they have said, speaking of to the moon, to Mars more like. Because they have said that in the future you can now pay to go to Mars, which we really should do considering how much we talk about Mars on the podcast and our whole plan to colonize it.
And we have now got Dogecoin.
Well, that's what I was going to say. You can now use Dogecoin to pay or outright for your trip to Mars.
How much do you reckon it is?
I mean, it's not going to be like a $5, is it?
Do you reckon we're going to get it for 200 quid?
Yeah.
What about deposit?
That could work. We could probably put a deposit down. And then we could start GoFundMe.
Speaking of which, before we go any further,
go on.
You might have seen on social media, because nobody really responded, because I don't think you think I was serious. We have an opportunity to send the devil up Mount Everest. If you
say send me up, I have to get myself up.
It's not like we send him up there in a helicopter. But if you remember Johnny Ward's podcast, he has just finished his Atlantic Row.
We talked about last week.
And he announced that in 2 years... He's going to climb Mount Everest.
He's doing basically, he wants to be the first person to have been to every country in the world. Check.
Yeah.
Now row from the Atlantic.
Yep.
Across the Atlantic. Do a marathon on the North and South poles.
Yeah.
And climb 7 peaks around the world. There's one on each continent. He's done 4 of the 7.
Yes.
Or 3 of the 7. I can't
4,
remember
I
which.
think.
I think it is 4.
Yeah.
And Everest is obviously the peakiest,
yes,
if you will.
It's quite a big hill.
It's quite a big hill.
Yeah.
29,000 feet.
And he's asking people to go with him.
To join him.
This guy,
I want to climb Everest.
Climbing a big hill.
No, but I really want to climb Everest.
And
like before this, I wanted to climb Everest.
It might sound like a lot of money, but it's roughly £45,000, right? But in reality, it's not. Because what you're actually doing for 45 grand...
Yeah.
It's quite a big deal.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's not like we want 45 grand to go on a road trip around the States.
Yeah.
It's to go up Mount Everest.
Yeah, that's the permit and everything else
as all of us, we would all then channel our inner Everest through this guy, and we would all effectively have climbed Mount Everest.
I'll do that's how it works.
So we're going to get a flag.
I could put a flag on the summit.
We're going to have a flag, and anybody that donates or anybody that tries to get any sort of sponsorship or anything like that, your name will go on the flag, and then effectively you've climbed up Mount Everest.
That's how it works.
That's how it works.
Honestly, you can tell people.
So you can say, literally, I've climbed up Mount Everest. Look, there's my name.
Yeah.
So he was serious.
Yeah,
there is an opportunity.
I do, because you messaged me like I messaged you saying fucking look at Johnny's story, straight back on it, wasting no time. And then you were like, would you go? I'm like, fuck yes, I'd go.
And then he was like, well, what? Wouldn't we need 90 grand? And I was like, well, I'm not going. No chance. I'm good.
The thing is, I the highest peak I've done, I think, was 18,500 feet. I might have done a higher one, but I definitely know I did an 18,000 feet one, and that was hard.
I walked a dog for an hour yesterday, and that was hard.
Hard's an understatement. This was in Peru, I think, the 18,000 one was. And I was walking for 5 seconds, stopping for 20, walking for 5 seconds. Because it's just you, and there's old ladies just running past you.
How long did it take you?
I didn't start from the bottom on that one. You start a fair way up as well.
Oh, okay.
It took a few hours.
So it wasn't like zero.
It wasn't like a, no. It wasn't.
I don't think any of them are like that. Though.
No, I have to,
because it's above sea level, isn't it?
Yeah.
So and you don't necessarily start.
There was
zero.
one I did in Patagonia. That one was a 3-day one. I can't remember how tall that one was. No, it was. Yeah, it was in Patagonia. It was on the Chilean side, and that was a 3-day one with camping and all that.
Because this one, there's oxygen involved, and
well, you can do it with or without oxygen. I would 100% use oxygen.
I mean, I'm going to be real.
I'm a smoker.
It's probably a better idea to do it with.
I'm a smoker and I'm not a mountaineer.
And also, if you are going to do this and you are serious, you need to stop smoking.
Yeah.
You can't climb up Everest with a fag in your gob.
I mean...
Cigarette for you American listeners.
I'll have one at the top. Oh, right. Context-wise, that way with a what?
Just saying.
I think they'll probably know that now. I think with pop culture.
Again, it might be a... What did he just say?
Yeah, there'll definitely be that.
But yeah, so you...
No, I would love to do it.
So if we can get it sponsored, that's what we are currently looking into, sponsorship. We need to get more details on it, obviously. But it is 2 years away. We don't have to pay the full amount within the 2 years.
I mean, I'm hoping by then they'll take DogeCoin.
But that's basically the other reason why we invested is because we're hoping we'll make 40 grand in 2 years' time off cryptocurrency to be able to afford to send the devil up the mountain. If there was ever content, there it is.
I mean,
do you know what I mean?
I'll film it all.
That's what I'm saying.
We'll post a few special episodes.
If ever there was YouTube content.
So I talked ages ago in one of the early podcasts. I did in 2017. I saw Everest.
Yes, I remember that.
From the plane.
Yes.
That's the closest I've got.
Yeah.
So I was flying from Bangkok to Kathmandu and made sure when I booked it, I did all the maths in my head and like what side of the plane do I need to be on? Where are we going to come in? Looked into it and everything was I don't want to miss it. So and I did see it. It's very... Oh, it's that one. It's that one. Yeah. It's that one. It was.
But you've seen it more than I have.
Well, right.
Yeah.
And I did when I was in Kathmandu. I went to one of the like tourist boards there. There's a woman in a little booth, and I was like, I want to go to Tibet. And she's like, okay, have you booked? And I was like, no. She literally laughed at me. She literally laughed at me. She's like, yeah, you're not going to go to Tibet.
Yeah, there's quite a lot.
Yeah.
There's like just the cost to go up to the summit.
25,000, I think.
It's $11,000. So you can go up to a certain point.
Yeah.
And then if you go to
base
another...
Camp 3, I think, is the highest you can go.
And then after that, it's another cost, which I don't really understand. I'm guessing it's...
It's because a lot of people only go as far as Base Camp 3.
I mean, if you're going, you're going.
There's a guy, I wish I remembered his name because his name deserves to be remembered. He's a Nepalese Sherpa. He climbed it for the 25th time this year.
What? That's his job, basically, is to climb Mount
He's done it
Everest.
25 times. I started watching. I think he's the guy. There's a documentary about him called Sherpa on Netflix. I started watching it, but I fell asleep. Not because it wasn't interesting, because it was like 3 a.m. And I think he'd done it 23 times at that point, and his whole family were like, dude, can you not? You're gonna die.
I was looking at the articles on it when you said, like, why is it so expensive? And I was looking up, like, doing a bit of research, and there was articles on it, and they were saying, like, them guys, the guides and the Sherpas and stuff, they got, like, 8 to 10 grand of that, and they'll use that, and then they'll go and set up a business somewhere.
Yeah.
So literally, they'll do it once, and they'll be like, oh, I'm good now.
And they are doing all the work.
Oh, yeah, they're carrying everything. You're literally just walking up a hill.
Yeah.
And they're
Stop calling it a fucking hill.
They're doing everything.
They've already gone up and put the ropes up and everything, which is cheating, but it's Everest. If you've got to cheat on anything, cheat on Everest.
I mean, you're still climbing up there.
I mean, you are, but, you know, there's climbing, which is you taking a barefaced mountain and going, not a bareface, it hasn't got bareface on it. The image of that just really tickled me.
Okay.
I liked that just for myself.
Right.
I'm going to try and make a barefaced mountain.
That was good.
For the edit. But yeah, so you can climb the mountain, or there's ladders and ropes and everything already put in, and that's what they've done. So it's essentially because they can make more money. the easier it is for people to go.
Yeah, the more people are going to go.
More people are going to go. So, because have you seen that a couple of years ago? They closed it for like 2 years. They closed Everest and no one could climb it because like they had really bad weather there and a bunch of people died and stuff. And then when they opened it up again, there were traffic jams of people.
Really?
Yeah. There's like photographs that someone took in a queue, just waiting for people to summit. And obviously you're there. The weather can change like that because mountains create their own weather system.
Yeah.
So you don't know.
Yeah, because them articles that I was reading, some guy's done it 4 times.
And never submitted.
And it was the 5th time that he actually got to the summit.
Yeah.
The 4 of the times he failed.
Because you can get so far.
So you could pay that 12 grand to go to the top and still not make it to the top.
There's a film called Everest on well thought out. There's better ways of saying that. I don't know what it is. It's got it's a true story. 11 people died making the film.
What?
Yeah, because they filmed it on parts of it on Everest, and the weather was that bad. 11 people died making the film.
Holy shit!
And I think it was about 11 people dying on the mountain.
Is it a good film?
It's a great film.
Was it worth the people dying?
No.
Really?
What film is?
Oh yeah, but I mean Avengers is pretty good. I wouldn't be mad at that.
You wouldn't.
It's quite long as well.
It is quite long. It took 2 parts, 4 parts.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, so yeah, people genuinely died making the film about people dying. It's a great film, but the things I remember, I watched it at the cinema, and it's the kind of film that if you ever thought about climbing Everest, you'd go, fuck that, I want that.
This is what I'm saying. I went, just reading the article, no.
Yeah, no, I watched it, there's people freezing to death, there's people, like Josh Brolin's in it, and he comes off, the guy he played, I googled him afterwards, half his nose went, he lost the limbs.
Didn't Ralph Fiennes lose his fingers up Everest? Was that Everest?
I think so, yeah.
Or was that other than the Antarctic? I don't know. But he's lost fingers and toes and people.
But that's it. It's easily done.
You're going to wear like proper trousers?
I mean, I probably would for that.
I mean, it'd be pretty cool if you didn't.
I mean, I'll change at the top.
How high do you reckon you could get in shorts and Converse?
In Converse? Not at all. You need crampons and you can't put crampons over Converse.
What about them DCs that you've got?
You'd be all right with DCs. I could put crampons over
put
those.
some straps over.
Yeah.
Keep the socks on.
In DC, I reckon, in this outfit now, I probably need a jacket. I need some sunglasses, because obviously you get snowblind.
Bobble that. Yeah.
Put my hair up all in it. I reckon I could do about 1,000 feet of the 29,000. Which isn't bad going as far as I'm concerned. On an incline.
Okay.
I
have more faith in you than that. I was going to say halfway.
Halfway. You know what? Realistically, I reckon I probably could do halfway, but I'd probably lose a limb.
Do you reckon you'd be stubborn and say, no, I'm fine? Or do you reckon the minute you got caught, you'd be like, I'm getting changed?
No, that first one.
Do you think they would even let you do it?
You've paid.
It's true. You're my bitch now.
Like, your preparation levels are your preparation levels.
True.
I couldn't just go into it as well. I'd have to climb up the mountains first.
I know, that's the other thing. It's like practice and shit.
But you can just go somewhere. You can get to fucking Switzerland or go to North America even. North America's got a bunch of 18,000. That's a bigger mountain, 18,000 feet. And I think Pakistan's got the most, I think, and then America. But you can go to America for 3 months and just go do a bunch of routes up there.
I didn't know this was happening.
No, I'm not saying it is happening. But
I'm in now. If he's going to America for 3 months, I'm in.
Well, you can come.
We can go to mountain climbing camp for 3 months.
Yeah.
I'll be there as your trainer.
Yeah.
Shouting at you, keep going.
There's a mountain I really want to. It's called a first ascent.
You look great.
If you're the first person to ever climb to the peak,
your mum looks good.
Have you ever seen the picture? I'll post it. I went ice climbing in Iceland and my ass was out. I was wearing shorts. Wearing this outfit pretty much right, and my ass was out, and I knew it was out because it was cold. It was really fucking cold, and at this point, I've got 2 ice axes.
Yeah,
and I'm like tethered on, so you can't just kind of like I've got nowhere I can put my ice axes.
Just pull my trousers up.
Yeah, like I can't because I've got fucking these things in my hands that I'm like hatching away at. So I was just like, and I could feel my trousers sliding down, and I'm like, this isn't good. Like, there's like people below me. Like, I'm like 50, 60 feet up. So I'm like far away enough that you can't, it's not like, dude.
At what point could they see what you had for breakfast?
No, it wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad?
Okay. But I had to, before I posted them, I had to Photoshop them. Because I had I always wear like a checkered shirt around my waist. So I just like took a bit of it and covered my ass with it so you couldn't see my ass. But I have still got
the original
photos.
The non-edited, non-Kardashian version.
With the non-Kardashian version. With my ass out. And honestly, it was just like...
Don't look for it now. Surprise me when I watch the podcast.
Okay, then it was probably like, oh, that's cold. I could feel it sliding down a bit more. It never got like... I mean, I've got a good ass, it's fine.
It's fine.
But it got... lower than you want it to be.
Okay, that's fair.
And then I got to the top, and there was like a dude at the top to help you up. I think, or was I the first
You went,
one?
oh,
up?
that, mate.
No, there wasn't anyone at the top. So I got to the top, and then I can't remember if you abseil back down, abseil back down, or wait for everyone else to climb up. No, there was an Italian guy at the top. I got to the top and was like, 1 second. But I was really fucking good.
Hold, please.
Yeah, it was the first time I'd ever been ice climbing. I was fucking great at it.
Right.
Because like, there's people who just like can't get the fucking ice sacks in the ice, and I was just like
Thor.
Yeah, dude, honestly, fucking incredible.
See, you know, this is why I'm not doing it any years.
I'd run up Everest.
I'm in.
There was also this week there was an election.
Yeah.
A local election.
Gareth didn't get in.
Gareth
Sorry to ruin everybody's fucking...
But we have to give an update on Gareth.
I know you was all excited about it, but for some reason 147 people voted
I thought it was
for
41, weren't it?
It was more than it should have been. He was an independent councillor and kept spelling independent wrong. So
Yeah.
there you go.
141.
But 141 people voted for him for basically putting about 16 pictures of
I
potholes
reckon
on his Facebook page.
it was the potholes and green bins, I reckon.
Yeah.
That's what got him.
I think it was mostly his family and friends, if I'm honest.
I can't presume that he has that many friends.
It's true.
I mean, you were the only person reacting to his Facebook posts, weren't you?
Pretty much.
So,
I think his page ended up with about 25 likes in total.
yeah, you got 141
So I'm not
votes.
sure where they came from. Unless it was people like doing it wrong, maybe.
I saw one guy put a post up on Facebook saying, on the day, because I posted a fair bit on the day saying just go out and vote and blah, 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 blah.
What's that?
A ring?
Do you always wear a ring?
Yeah.
Oh.
Probably not every week.
Okay,
But
sorry.
most of them.
I thought you was just...
From New York, it was $12.
Oh, carry on.
And he posted saying, I don't know who to vote for because I've only had one leaflet through. So what kind of fucking shit show are they running here? And I replied saying, you know, you've got the internet, right?
Like, you're able to search for this
Yeah.
stuff
And he was like, do you think I haven't tried? So I searched. So I sent him a link.
within 2 seconds.
Within 5 minutes, I found the
Yeah.
Labour one, the Tory one, and the Liberal Democrat one, and was like, you can search the rest yourself. But there's a link to your local fucking area as well.
Yeah.
And even then, that's their manifesto, the same as if it's their leaflet. If you get a leaflet and go, oh, this one, without doing any research of your own, and just go, I believe this.
That's what I mean. That's why I didn't vote.
So we can, well, no, I didn't talk to you that day.
I didn't vote.
I messaged Mr. Archer saying, are you going to vote? And he said, no.
No. Fuck him.
And I said, well, what, just go and ruin your vote.
I didn't even know what that meant.
Spoil your vote, just want to fuck you on there or
Yeah,
whatever.
but I didn't know that. And now, after looking at Gareth's results, there was 5 people that vote. So it tells you every vote, and there was 5, and one of them was like somebody voted for more than one person.
Right.
So somebody went in and ticked 2 boxes.
Okay. There was one you could have a primary and a secondary on.
There was
But I'm
another
guessing-
one where it was didn't vote at all.
Oh, so they just got the thing.
They just got the piece of
folded it,
paper and
put it
went
in there.
bang. Yeah, that was
Okay.
it. So there's no vote on it. There was one that was damaged.
Okay.
One vote that was damaged, and then there was 2 others. I don't know. I think someone just screwed it up and chucked it in the box or something like that. I don't know. But there was 5 votes
that were
that were
uncounted.
uncountable. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
you can go in and literally just write, fuck you on it. There's no point writing too much because the only person...
I'll be honest, I walked the dog past the polling booth. Literally, like within 10 feet of it. And I was like, oh, what's that? Oh, they're voting. Threw the stick for the dog.
I fully,
Like,
honestly,
literally
on
didn't care.
Thursday, when it happened, when I was like, this episode, I know I'm going to rant at you. I know I'm going to rant at you. And I'll calm down since then. So you're all right.
I don't think it went in your favour
If
either,
this had
did it?
been- No, I wasn't expecting it to. I knew it wouldn't. I knew that Tories would gain, which I don't understand. We've spoken so much on the podcast recently about the corruption, how openly corrupt there are. Yeah, people are still like, yeah, more of that, please.
I think it's genuinely down to, from what I've seen, is, and I know you hate this, is how he handled the pandemic
Yeah.
and people thinking, well,
We've had money off them. We've had furlough paid off
and
them.
that's what
We've
the
had government
majority
grants
of
off
what
them.
people said
So why
was,
rock
if
the
it
boat?
wasn't for Boris, my business would have gone under. If it wasn't for Boris, I wouldn't have had money. But there's also the devil's advocate of it as, do you not think that
The other party would have done the
the
same
other
thing.
parties wouldn't have done the same thing? They're not just going to
Yeah.
go, fuck them, let them
Yeah,
burn.
exactly.
Do you know what I mean? They're not.
Which I've never understood when people always say, like, Churchill won the war. Like, do you think the other leaders wouldn't have done the
Would have
same
not bothered.
thing?
No, exactly. It was
Like-
just they was there at that time.
And also, Churchill immediately after the war was over was voted out.
Gone. Yeah.
Like, they hated him.
Yeah, and I think...
But history doesn't tell you that part. History
I think this is why Boris won the election again. I think it's purely down to that.
And I think because Brexit's still ongoing, I think they're like, he's the Brexit guy.
Let him finish it. Yeah, I think...
So I've always been, I think for very few elections, well, most elections I've been hopeful. Always.
He didn't get voted back in, did he?
No, well, he wasn't.
It wasn't a general election, was it?
It was only a local. So he would have been...
But the Conservatives got back in, and took over some Labour places as well, didn't they?
Like Hartlepool was the big one that everyone was talking about because it's part of the Red Belt, as it was known. And I saw a video on Twitter where two guys were like, yeah, but we've got no police stations anymore. Got no hospitals. And it's like... all shut down in the last 10 years. Who's been in power the last 10 years again? Oh, was it the Tories, not Labour?
And you voted for him again.
Yeah, that works. Good
and
logic.
I mean, they're still open.
Yeah.
It's not like there's just no hospitals anymore.
Yeah, but
no, I didn't vote.
So, honestly, I was going to be so fucking ranty. And I just chilled out over the weekend. I've just been like, it's cool.
You said what? We discussed it before that.
Yeah.
And I said about... what's the point? My personal opinion is, and we discussed this before as well, what's the point? Because nothing really changes. Yeah. It doesn't matter what party you vote for, they'll just do the same thing in a different way.
They won't.
Nothing changes.
It does.
So the only way to create change, in my opinion, which you also said was a bad idea, was
to get people to not vote.
Because if enough people don't vote, they have to take notice.
Agreed.
But your argument was people will still vote.
Yeah.
And it's as simple as that. Yeah. My neighbours voted. I don't think they're in any way political whatsoever. Yeah. But they still voted because they had the opportunity to.
Yeah.
And I think it was literally...
I love voting.
And that's it.
I love voting. Like, it's like my favourite part of that day. But honestly, I go where I vote now. It's like my old primary school.
Right.
And it's weird enough going down there anyway, because it's so much smaller than I remember it being.
Yes.
Because I was like 5 when I was there, or 6 or whatever. And now it seems like it's a pocket-sized school. But when I was there, I remember it being huge. And I went in, it's always the same women who work there. And they're always like, oh, hello. And the woman this week was like, you're late this time. I was like, okay. I think that's just her way of being like, I know you always come. Because we always have like a very quick chat when I get there.
Yeah. She tries to sway your vote. Yeah.
She does.
Quite literally.
I think they know that I'm very liberal in my views.
And morals.
And
sorry, loose morals.
Loose morals.
I always get them mixed up.
Those two, yeah. And then when I voted, and honestly, I feel like it's one of those things where, you know, when people talk about like fighting for democracy and wars, and I'm not a pro-army or pro-military person, but they did fight for the ability for us to be able to have that vote. And when you see people in America queuing up for like 18 hours to vote, and in different countries, people walking to next towns and villages to be able to do so, and I'm like, here, I get to just walk to my old school and go put my vote in. And it's like, I feel like it would be, I don't want to say unpatriotic because I don't consider myself to be patriotic, even though my Budweiser bottle has a big flag on it today.
I know what you're saying, though.
But you know what I mean?
It's undemocratic in a sense.
Yeah,
because it is democracy.
I do feel like I have a duty to vote.
You have got the right, and you've been given the privilege to
which
write.
Which is why I would rather you support your vote, because at least then you're still speaking out. And what you're saying is, I don't agree with any of this.
True, I get that, yeah. Whereas I just went, well, I don't agree with it, so I'm not going to vote. At least if I'd have put that down. Yeah,
and I think the thing is, and this is very much a common thing, is I think when you say it doesn't affect me, I'd never think of me when I vote. I do obviously think of me. If something's going to fuck me over, I'm not going to vote for it. But I generally vote for the consensus of a country and over the world. So I'll be like, what's better globally? What's better economically for our country? What's better for people not dying and people not being bombed? And you know what I mean? Stuff like that. Whereas you'll be like, well, it's not affecting me, so why would I vote for that?
If anything, the local election should have meant more to me than the general election.
And I think people, as I get older, think more locally.
Yeah.
I do think people start thinking less of the world as they get older and start thinking more about, well, my community and my roads and my blah, 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 blah. And you are quite, I'm surprised you voted for Gareth. Like,
I mean, you know my issues with Gareth.
Well, yeah.
Gareth's very generic.
But you do seem like someone who would be more inclined to vote locally than you would generally.
Probably. But I didn't care enough to look into the others.
That upsets me.
And I almost will put money on, I'll put 20 DogeCoin on the fact that if I'd have looked up the other local councillor's candidate...
At what rate is DogeCoin?
Whatever it is now. Okay. I reckon if I'd have looked up the other candidates manifestos, I'm pretty sure they would have been almost word for word exactly the fucking same.
I disagree.
Oh, well, we'll have a look afterwards,
Okay.
but I'm pretty sure they won't be far off if they're still there.
I think something's fundamentally, and obviously it's all keywords.
That's what I'm saying.
Manifesto.
Council tax, bins, potholes, dog mess, kids, looking after the kids. They'll all be the same.
Yeah,
I even seen the UKIP. There's not for this district, but for further up at the other side of Tamworth, I've seen this UKIP guy, and he's a proper Boris hater. But even his manifesto was not that far off Gareth's.
Yeah.
And he's UKIP.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I get they're all pro-Brexit and everything else and independence and all that sort of stuff. But locally, this is the thing, locally, there's only so much you can do.
Agreed.
Do you you're not going to vote for Gareth because he's going to say, I'm going to go to London and change the world.
But what the local election does do, though, is gives another voice and another vote in Parliament. And that's where it's important.
Well, next time.
That's who houses that seat in Parliament.
How often do they?
4 years.
So in 4 years' time, we're putting this out there now. The devil is running for local, or me, one of us, maybe both,
100%
against
me.
each other. Can you do it together?
No, you have to. Well, you could make a party together, but you'd have to have one person on the ballot.
We're in. The Archer of the Devil Party. None of this independent bullshit.
I don't know if we'd agree on our policies, though.
I don't care. We're running for local councillors. That's it. Dan, you've heard it here first. Imagine our reach in 4 years' time.
Independent.
We're going to be fucking huge, but we've only got to be huge in our local 4 streets.
Oh, actually, no, saying that, if we don't live in the same, because like Tamworth, where we live.
You could run for yours, where you live.
I'm in Spittal or Mercia, one of the two.
And I could run for mine.
Yeah, which is, you won't look at.
Imagine if we both had seats, and we both turned up to like the council meeting and we went,
Sup?
Sorry, I've just got back from climbing Everest.
Woof,
What's going on?
What's up? What have I missed? What's cracking off?
Anyway, these potholes are shit, aren't they?
Yeah.
Fuck them green bins. Put that cigarette out, please. Sorry, I've just come back from Everest. I took up smoking again. My bad.
Yeah.
Did I mention I climbed Everest?
I'm pretty sure if we run for different districts, we could run for the same party. Because like
independence.
Yeah.
Or would you run? If you go for this is the thing. If you went for Labour, it's a whole fuck about because you've got because you've got to go in with Labour.
Yeah.
If you just go as an independent,
that's true,
and get the popular vote.
Well, there was that.
You're handsome.
Did you see the NDL?
Yes.
Yes. Was it Niko Defence League?
The Niko Defence League.
Oh, it is Niko.
There's, I've been following 2 of them. There's a guy called Niko and there's a guy called Max Fosh. Right.
Okay, I haven't heard of him.
They're both 2 YouTubers.
Right.
And that Niko,
that's 24,000 votes, didn't he?
Niko is famous for getting ringside at boxing matches.
Oh, okay.
That's where he came from. He was originally called Ringside, and he got in the KSI fight and all this sort of stuff. And he even flew to America and got in the ring there, and there was all looking for him. And he disguised himself as an Arab sheikh and all this sort of stuff. And he still got Ringside, and he decided that he was going to run for London Mayor.
Yeah.
And then obviously when it came out, this posh kid called Max Fosh, who bought a roundabout and had a big opening ceremony for it and all this sort of stuff in a separate YouTube video. He also started running for London Mayor, but his sole purpose was to beat that Lawrence Fox.
Yeah.
So that actor,
the
posho on Gogglebox.
Who's a piece of shit.
His sole purpose.
And he was running for Reform, who are a pro-Brexit party.
And he just wanted to beat him. He got a £5 million budget to run his campaign.
Really?
And everything. Yeah, this Lawrence Fox had. And this Max kid, he's basically a YouTuber. He wanted to work at the BBC. So he printed his CV out and wrapped the roof of his car with his CV and parked it outside the BBC offices. So when they looked out the window, they would see his CV on top of his car.
That's smooth.
And he just pulls stunts like that.
Yeah.
But his sole purpose was to piss this Lawrence Fox off to the point where he realised that this Lawrence Fox hadn't registered lawrencefox.org website domain.
Oh, okay. so he got right in there.
So he registered it and put his own manifesto
on his website.
on Lawrence Fox's website. Amazing. So and then he followed. Lawrence Fox had this big bus with all like his manifesto and everything on, and Max posted his on his little like Citroen Saxo. And followed the bus around London. So everyone was looking at his as well. And this Lawrence Fox refused to speak to him. He's like, you're childish, grow up, all this sort of stuff. And then I think he got as many votes.
Niko got...
He come 5th, Niko did.
49,628.
Yeah.
Lawrence Fox got 47,000.
Right, what did that Max get?
I can't find the Max, dude. Hang on one second. But I just want Niko's... fucking this guy, man. Like, so Niko had children's sunglasses on.
Yeah, and done a BBC interview.
Yeah. He went outside the offices for 2 days.
Yeah, to try and get an interview.
And the people walking in the office, and he's like, can you interview me? They're like, no. The security guard there was like, I've never seen anyone walk up to the gates and just get an interview. He got an interview. He said that his main policies were...
He wants to get Freddo back down to 15 pence.
5p.
5p.
Yeah. Dreaming big. His message for Boris Johnson was going to be, shush.
Yeah. Yeah.
His slogan was just vibes.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you see the doppelganger video where he set up a load of interviews and then got his lookalike in to see it in the videos?
I don't know. I didn't see that bit. No.
Yeah. And behind him was a picture of Osama bin Laden.
Oh,
and he'd photoshopped himself into it. And this guy asked him who he was, and he was like, "Oh, that's my uncle. We share ideologies, and I want to bring some of his ideologies into my manifesto." But the guy doing his doppelganger didn't know it was Osama bin Laden. He genuinely thought it was his uncle. So he's saying, "I want to share his views." And it was just...
What's the other guy's name? Max what?
Foch, F-O-C-H. I think it was. F-O-C-H?
He's not on... Well, this is like the first page of the results. And he's not on
maybe
there.
he didn't get many then.
So he must have been way down. Imagine if Niko had won, though. Like, imagine... I mean, he wouldn't have. But...
Well, how many votes did Sadiq Khan get?
Over 1 million.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Is that all?
Yeah, over 1 million.
Which is still not a lot, really, is it?
No, but when you think how many people don't vote... I mean, what population of London's, I think, 11 million or 9 million? You know, count for age as well, how many people of that are under 18.
Yeah, but this all goes back to Donald Trump as president.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally, how big of a name have you... Like, if The Rock ran for president tomorrow, it would be a fucking runaway result.
Do you think?
100%.
Do you think?
Yes.
I don't know runaway.
Because even people that... You think how many people don't vote.
Yeah.
Right? Compared to how many people do.
Yeah.
Because it's never a majority of the population that do vote.
I mean, if it's like 47%, it's a great turnout.
So if you imagine, like, who's a really popular personality in the UK, like well loved,
David
whatever.
Beckham.
So say David Beckham ran for president, prime minister in the UK.
I would have voted for David Beckham.
But all the people that don't normally vote would, just to fuck with the system. And that's what you would get from The Rock.
Yeah.
People are like, we can get The Rock as president. I'm in. And that would be it.
I can't find his manifesto thing now. I think my only worry is with stuff like that is that the people who vote for lols would have gone to a healthier vote, Green Party or Labour. Tories always vote Tory.
Yeah, true.
Do you know what I mean? They're never going to fuck about because they're... Bob Marley had this quote, which was like, the bad guys of the world never take a day off.
Yeah.
Which is why the good guys can't. And... I do think that's why when it comes to like humorous voting and stuff like that, which is why I'd almost be against vote like running, because I feel like it wouldn't matter here because it's a very Tory town. It has been for 11 years now. I didn't realise the last 100 years our government in this country has been 80 of them has been Tory.
Really?
Out the last 100 years.
Which one's Tory? Conservative?
Yeah.
Oh.
And only 20 have been Labour, which is fucking insane. But I wouldn't want to run because the people that would vote for me are probably people who would vote for Labour otherwise. No Tories going to come over my side of the fence.
Yeah, but also...
More so because I call them
yeah, but also...
all the time.
Wouldn't you... But we wouldn't be doing it as a joke.
No, I'd run it seriously.
That's what I'm saying. If we got in, we would take it seriously.
I
because
would be like...
I'm all about shouting at people on Facebook. So if I can do it from a fucking political, like, actual moment of power, I'm in. Do you know what I mean? If I can get that fucking pothole filled up, and that's because of me, I'm in.
We'd have to delete all of these podcasts.
No,
we'd have to start from scratch.
Donald Trump didn't.
And come out, we'd have to have like wallpaper bookcase to make it look like a really well written, right? Wear like 3-piece suits,
tweed jackets,
I'll have a monocle, and be like,
I'll puff on a pipe.
We'll have to call it Archer and something else. It couldn't be the devil anymore.
The Lord.
And the Lord.
Archer and the Lord.
Archer and the Lord. I don't want to be the Lord. But something. It'd have to be like, hello.
Hello.
We'd have to have the same music, but really fancified. Right. Hello.
Violin.
This week, we're talking about...
Shooting grouse.
Shooting grouse. Fox hunting.
I'm in. I don't care. I'm in. Because let's be honest, Gareth was never going to do a real...
Because, you said it's free to run as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Local elections.
I'm down.
I think you have to get 20 people... to agree.
I don't know if I can find 20 people.
Of course you can. Independent. If you're run as an independent, you've just got to get 20 people. I know you
don't normally whenever we ask, but if you would be one of those 20, like this video on YouTube, If you're one of those people that would, you haven't got a comment, you haven't got to do anything, just like the video.
Just like the video.
So if we can get to 20 likes,
then we know we're in.
Then we know we're in. At least
I don't know if they've got to be local though.
If you're local, yeah. If you're in Germany, then you
We'll like the video anyway.
Yeah, like the video anyway for the lot. Well, no, because just like it anyway, and then the more we have, but
I think it's 20 people.
in 4 years, hopefully, we'll have like I don't know, like
I'd like to think that in
5 million subs?
4 years, I've got 20 local people around here that would.
I'd like to think I'd have that now. To be honest,
I'm in the local group for the road. Do you know what I mean? The local Facebook community page. Do you know what I mean?
Your neighbours quite like you.
Well, there's 1, 2, 3. There's 4, 5 votes straight away. 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm halfway there already.
To be fair, the bar I work in as well, most of them are just like, yeah, Sam, what am I signing? Oh, that's cool.
They've got to live where you live.
In Birmingham, that's the problem.
But your dad runs a shop.
Yeah, I could do
so
it
you
there.
could you live around here? Yeah, can you just sign that for me?
Yeah.
What is it? Don't worry about that.
You
Just
just
sign
polls. I got you covered. I got you covered.
Do you like paying for your green bin? No, sign up here.
I got you, boo.
Just sign up.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think 4 years' time we should revisit this podcast. We're close to the end, and I've got a story to tell you.
Oh, go on. What's your story?
So you know how you normally do story time with the devil?
Yes.
We've got a story time with Archer.
I want a proper segment now, but carry on.
Do you recognise this noise? You ready?
Yeah.
Are we all ready? Listen.
Yes, Apple. It's a startup Macintosh noise.
Let me play it again. So do you reckon that you recognise that
definitely
noise?
an Apple noise.
Right. So that noise
Good noise, actually.
is
Pleasing noise.
the original startup noise from
The Macintosh.
the Mac, or the Macintosh as it was. I've turned my Bluetooth off now, so it won't ring. I've made notes and everything.
Oh, fuck
I've got
you.
a book. I've
now.
got a notes book.
Mate.
So,
I feel like we do need a story time button.
strap in. So,
Sorry, you normally say that for me, so let me do that.
sorry.
Strap in, people.
I have a story. Right.
Okay.
So,
About that noise.
that noise is called Sosumi. Right?
I've heard of Sosumi.
Yes.
Japanese, right?
Let me explain why. So, that's sashimi you're thinking of. But it's very similar. Anyway, in 1978,
I mean, already.
company, well, a band, you might have heard of them, they're called the Beatles.
Oh, I think I've heard of them.
This little small local English band.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. From up north.
They decided that they wanted to set up a corporation to basically sell their music from. So they called it Apple Corp, right? It was called Apple Inc., I think, originally. Then they changed it to Apple Corp, right? And then you might have known, a few years later, there was another bloke called Steve Jobs.
Heard of that guy.
Decided, I quite like that name.
Son of an immigrant.
So he's going to set up a company also called Apple, right?
Because of this company?
No, just he just likes the name.
Happy coincidence.
I don't know why. I'm sure there's another story about why Steve Jobs likes the name Apple. I don't know. But anyway, they're the same name.
They are the same name, same fruit.
So obviously, there's a bit of a conflicting issue there with people getting confused as who's this Apple, who's that Apple. I'll be honest, I didn't even know the Beatles had a company called Apple Corp. Right, anyway. So they took them to court.
Which one took who?
Apple took Apple to court. Apple Beatles took Apple Jobs
to court. Okay.
to court. We'll call them Apple Beatles and Apple Jobs.
Yeah, it makes clarity.
In, I don't know when, but it was some time ago. And they took them to court for copyright of the name.
Okay.
Right. So, which the Beatles won.
Okay.
Apple Beatles won. And they said, you can't just be called Apple Corp. So I think they changed their name to Apple something else.
Okay.
So it's like Apple, but it's officially something else. Right. Apple Limited or whatever.
Yeah.
And they charged them, or they won $80,000.
Okay.
Right. That was back then.
Yeah, so they weren't the powerhouse they are now.
Yeah. So they made an agreement at the time and said, look, we understand that you're not going to change your name to the extent where it's no longer Apple, but we're going to make an agreement where you, Apple Jobs, can't go into music.
Oh, okay.
We're music.
You're not.
You're not.
Yeah.
That's the end. If this is how it's going to be, Apple Beatles is music. Apple Jobs is computers.
You can be anything else you want.
Whatever you want to do,
Except
just
for
no
music.
music.
Okay.
And they went, okay, cool. I'm in. Sign the agreement, give them 80 grand. It was rumoured to be $250 million, but that was never true.
Oh, okay.
It was $80,000.
Okay.
Fast forward, 1991.
Okay.
Imagine,
I
1991.
remember 1991.
Macintosh is released.
Yeah.
The original Mac. You turn it on, you get the noise. Apple Beatles went, whoa, hang on a minute. You said you would never go into music. And they're like, whoa, it's not music. It's just sounds on our computer. Sounds of music. You're not allowed.
Really?
Yep. They went, you're not allowed to have any sounds on your Mac. And they went, what? No, you can't do it. So they took him to court. And they won.
Beatles won?
Apple Beatles won again. Yay, Apple Beatles. So Apple Mac, Apple Jobs, had to change all of their... They could keep the noises, but they couldn't use musical names. So it was harp or violin.
Right.
It had to be slab or footpath.
Oh, okay.
Right. So one of them, that startup noise, had a name. Probably should know what it was originally called. Forgot.
On screen now.
The guy that created the noise was a bit pissed off.
Right.
Because he's like,
I've made that noise.
I made that noise. This is me.
Yeah, yeah.
And now they're telling me that I can't name it what I named it, which
Yeah.
I assume was something probably related to him.
Right.
So he's like, well, what can I change it to? That's something that's not musical. So he's like, I'm going to change it to Let It Be. Right.
Dude.
That was his original idea.
That's amazing.
Right. And then he thought, fuck, it's probably a bad idea because they're probably going to sue me because it's one of their songs. So he said, but they're going to sue me. So sue me. So sue me. So he changed the name to So Sue Me. So that's why it's called So Sue Me. So it's not
That's
Sosumi.
amazing.
Yeah, it's not Sosumi, it's So Sue Me because fuck you, whatever.
So sue me?
So Sue Me.
If you don't like it,
So
sue
Sue
me.
Me. So that's why he changed
That's
that name.
amazing.
So every time you turn a Mac on now and you hear that noise, it's called So Sue
It's a
Me.
fuck you to the Beatles?
And it's a fuck you to the Beatles. But it didn't end there.
Oh, okay.
There's more. There's more.
There's more.
As we know,
Totally strap him.
there's a little thing came out from Apple Jobs
Apple Jobs.
called iTunes.
iTunes? Okay.
Correct. Which is what?
Music, hosting.
Pretty much solely music.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And what did Apple Jobs agree with Apple Beatles that they wouldn't do?
Music.
They wouldn't get into music. So they sued them for breach of contract because they said, you signed this contract that promised you wouldn't go into music and you've gone into music. We've already done you once for it because you put music on your computers.
Yeah.
We're going to win this piece of piss. It's quite clear.
I hear you. Could you please repeat what you said?
What? Is that Siri? Siri's kicking off. It's like, what the fuck? So they was like, we done you once because you put music on. We won that easy. So you actually got a whole music platform now that you promised you wouldn't do. It's written in the contract. Take me to court.
Yeah, you didn't just get some music, you got all the music.
All the music there. So there's like, this is easy. In the bag. Apple
that's why
Beatles did.
Beatles weren't on Apple for fucking ages.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So they was like, okay, well, what's the crack here then? So they took him to court and they went, hi, Mr. Judge. These guys promised that they would never go into music. We've already sued them once for going into music and we won. So it's pretty straightforward. Sign the paperwork. They paid us $26.5 million last time for the sounds. So we're pretty much in for a big fat pay rise now. So, and the judge went, okay, let me read the contract. So the judge read the contract and he went, actually, and they went, whoa, what do you mean actually? And he went, actually, it says in your agreement that you wouldn't go into music in a physical sense. And they're
CDs,
like,
records,
what do you mean
cassettes?
physical sense? And they went, CDs, LPs,
Yeah.
cassettes, all that sort of stuff. And he went, hang on a minute, what? Can I just double check what iTunes is in terms of music? So Mr. Jobs turns up. I don't know if it was Mr. Jobs. Mr. Jobs is lawyer. And he went, actually, Your Honour, it's all digital. So therefore, we don't really care. And Mr. Judge went, I'm afraid that's true. and ruled in the favour of Apple Jobs. And that's how iTunes became about.
That's
Because they basically said you can't put in a contract for future technology.
Yeah.
You can't just go, oh, there's a new technology now, let's change it so they can't do it. He just went, it's your own fault
for not thinking that
for
far
not
ahead.
thinking that far ahead. It's almost like Steve Jobs knew what was coming. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like he went, physical sound. I'll sign that, no
How
problem.
funny would it be if he went, if it wasn't even that he knew what was coming, that inspired him to go, you know what?
Fuck him.
How can we make this?
Yeah, maybe that might
You know
be
what
the
I
case.
mean?
It's like, we're not allowed to do CDs. let's make it digital.
That's
and that's what
amazing.
inspired iTunes. But yeah, so all because Apple Beatles.
I mean, I didn't know. Again, you didn't know Beatles had an association with the word Apple.
No idea. But that is also, like you've just mentioned there, that is why the Beatles was not on iTunes
For years.
forever, because that lawsuit was going on from 1978 to 2006.
Was that when they went on there then?
And that's pretty much when...
Actually, I don't think it was even there. I think it was after that. I think it was about 2014. When,
Oh, it was recent.
yeah,
It was
when
proper
the
recent.
Beatles finally got on there. And that's kind of like, ultimately, it's a victory for Apple Jobs.
It was, it was massive.
Because they made their market so big, the Beatles were like, we're now losing money by not
We've
being
got
on
to
there.
be on it, yeah.
We've got to be on there.
So you imagine Steve Jobs sitting at home going, no CDs. I'm in. How
Yeah.
much? 26 million. Pfft, sign it.
That's the
Fucking
thing.
sign it. Because he knew what was coming.
Yeah, that is fucking insane. It's ridiculous.
It's mental.
There's a thing, apparently, when CDs first came about, they renegotiated everyone's... All the labels renegotiated their artists' contracts because all the contracts were signed for LPs.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So they were like, look, there's this new technology about.
Yeah.
It might not do great. It might. So what we're going to do is give you a less of a cut. We'll give you 75 cents on the dollar.
Because we're not sure if it's going to be
We're
any
not
good.
sure. So what we're going to do is pump money into it to try and boost it. So you'll take that cut and we'll use that cut to boost into it. So can you just sign there for 50 years? Sound.
What?
And then obviously CDs.
And obviously CDs was quite big.
Yeah.
Still is.
Yeah.
Not
And
as much.
So that
but-
everyone got fucked over. And now the same thing happened with, I don't know what the streaming, I think it's like 0.002
yeah, it's not a lot.
per stream.
I think it's
that
as
the
well
artist
because they
gets.
count in the charts now as well,
Yeah,
don't they?
yeah.
But I think it's something like 400 streams or
the equivalent
4,000
of-
streams
Of a CD purchase.
as one purchase,
Yeah.
and it'll take that into account because otherwise you'd be like 10 billion fucking downloads of the latest
You'd be
fucking
loaded.
KSI song or whatever it is, and
yeah.
they'd be like, yeah, he's number one for like 9 years because he's just got a massive YouTube following. So they had to kind of like narrow it down. What are them K-pop kids?
Yeah, the ones in South Korea.
What are they called?
K-pop.
No, they've got a proper name.
I thought it was
B.
Is that the genre of the band?
K-pop's the genre.
I thought that was the band.
No, K-pop is Korean pop,
Oh,
and then fuck's sake, and
that
then
makes so
what's
much
the called?
sense.
What's the band called?
BTS.
BTS.
Yeah, okay.
So
yeah.
you imagine you've got basically a whole country streaming your music.
It's not even just a whole country. Like they're fucking global now.
At some point, they're going to be like, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah,
right.
dude. Can you stop streaming them?
K-pop has been at number one for
We've run out of
14
money.
years.
Yeah, we've run out of money.
Nobody's releasing any other music. Let's stop. So
Yeah,
they had
they've,
to
they've
kind
got
of
all the money.
they had to kind of like
Yeah.
level it out a little bit. But
I don't think that's why they did it. I think they did it just because.
I don't think it's K-pop's fault. I don't
Yeah.
think it's what they're called.
Well,
PMT. What they're called?
No, PST. No, PS. It's professional music.
No, the K-pop band.
BTS.
BTS.
We literally just
I
discussed
know, but I
this.
forgot what you said.
I thought you meant, what's the thing where you have to have a license to play it in bars and stuff like that?
I mean, you should know.
I know. It begins with P. PMT maybe. No.
Personal music,
No, I can't remember. On screen now.
premenstrual tension.
That's the fucking, that's the one. But and there's also a thing I remember seeing on a Rival podcast where the guy from Smashing Pumpkins, Billy Corgan, who's a singer of Smashing Pumpkins,
If you say so.
they're a huge band.
Okay,
They're a huge band.
I'm in.
That when he signed his when he signed his deal,
Yeah.
they renegotiated his deal, and they signed it. And in his deal, it says that whatever record company, say it's Universal, for example, we own the rights to this music and this and any unknown universes.
What?
Yeah. So if they discover a parallel universe,
That's playing Smashing Pumpkins.
they own it. It's like, no, that's ours. We've got it in the contract. Or if they don't have it, then they can be like, quickly send Smashing Pumpkins album over there.
How would that work? Because that'd have to be a parallel universe, but there'd be a parallel Smashing Pumpkins.
It would depend if they've got the contract in the parallel universe.
What? For this universe?
Yeah.
So then there are Smashing Pumpkins are
And
taking
then you'd have an
Smashing Pumpkins.
inter-universal
Court case.
Yeah.
It'd be like Apple Beatles and Apple
Yeah, it would
Jobs
be
all
like
over again.
Universe Earth versus Universe
Because it'd be Blink 182 versus
Blink 187.
no, what they call Smashing Pumpkins versus Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, well, we signed the contract. Yeah, but we signed it as well. yeah, but we said for other universes. Well, so did we.
But yeah, they've accounted for multiverse So parallel universes.
How do people think this shit up?
The future,
Do you
everything.
think that was just a piss take, or do you think he was genuinely serious?
They did it because of the CD thing. Because they didn't put CDs in there initially, and they didn't put MP3s in there initially, so they had to renegotiate them when MP3s became a thing. And they didn't account for a streaming, so they had to so they were like, you know what? Let's just consider all eventualities. So just in case Elon Musk accidentally rips the fabric of time, and you can now just hop through to different universes. Let's put a clause in there that we own the rights to music in every single one of them.
So anybody, anywhere, in any universe, at any time, plays our music, we want our cut.
Yeah.
Sign here.
Yeah.
Done.
It's fucking insane. I want to point out that everything I say on this podcast also accounts for multiverse versions of our podcast.
Same.
We own all parallel universe versions
Copyrights.
of Arch of the Devil. So if we're super successful in like Universe 57,
Yeah.
you got to pay up.
Although we haven't even copyright. I shouldn't say that out loud.
Of course we have.
Yeah, we're fully protected.
Awkward.
If anybody knows any
I
copyright
honestly didn't
lawyers,
know my
please
voice
let
would
us
go that
know.
high. I'm really impressed.
Anybody knows any copyright lawyers, please.
Send them my way. I do think
Hit us up.
it is interesting. I genuinely think Spotify's going to die.
The thing is, though, things like that can literally make and break
Yeah, no, completely.
just through one simple clause in a contract that you didn't necessarily know.
Yeah.
People can just rip you to bits.
Especially if it's like a technology change.
I watched that. Have you seen Rocketman with Elton John, about Elton John's
No.
life? It's a really good film.
It's a musical, isn't it?
Not really.
Is there songs in it?
There's songs in it.
Is there songs in perform or is it musical songs?
I mean, it's younger Eltons singing Elton songs.
Is it a musical in the way that Bohemian Rhapsody was a musical? 'Cause that's not a musical.
I've not seen that.
Have you not?
No.
It's not that great.
But it's basically Elton John's life from a child,
I don't like Elton John.
and he just sang songs. But he had a bit of a shitty life, to be fair. Yeah, really bad.
What's his name? Reginald something, isn't
Reginald Dwight.
it? That's it.
But he got ripped off multiple times with shitty contracts.
Oh, right, okay.
Multiple times. Some bloke who was basically made him fall in love with him.
Oh, okay.
Took advantage of him and was taking 20%, and he fucking hated his guts to the point where he tried to kill himself to get out of the contract.
Fucking
Elton
hell.
John. That's how horrible he was to this guy.
I mean, I don't think anyone's ever going to be surprised if a record label rips you off. You know what I mean?
But this was just some random
it's
guy that
fairly-
he met, that he built a relationship with in terms of a sexual relationship, and he was like, right, I'm going to be your manager, and Elton John went, okay, I quite fancy you a
That
little
happened
bit.
with Freddie Mercury.
But maybe a similar thing then.
There's a thing I only know because of Bohemian Rhapsody. The guy, he sold a book on him afterwards as well about how his drug problems and how he was promiscuous and stuff like that. I think he outed Freddie Mercury actually.
What?
Yeah.
This guy tried to get Elton John a wife and all sorts to try
Right,
and
okay.
hide this because he didn't want anyone questioning
Yeah.
what his relationship. I'm just purely business. And he was purely business in and out of the bedroom.
Yeah.
And he was like keeping him dangled with the offer of love and a relationship and everything else. Because when he came out as gay, he said to his mom, I'm homosexual. And she's like, I know. But just so you know, you're setting yourself up for a lifetime of never being loved. His own mom said that to him.
I mean, it was a different time.
It was a different time. And he's like,
I'm not saying
and
that makes it okay,
and
but-
that was ringing in his head. So every
Right.
time he met someone, he was trying
like-
to cling on and
Yeah,
prove everyone
yeah.
wrong. And it just got fucking worse and worse. It's a really good film.
Okay, I might check it out.
It's not bad. I mean, it's not a bad film.
There's a thing with Elvis and his manager. I can't remember his name. He was a Dutch guy.
Elton John was inspired by Elvis.
Oh, was he?
Figure that shit out.
I mean, I love Elvis. I'm a massive Elvis
He started
fan.
playing a piano. Elton John did just by pure listening.
Just
he,
to
he was
Elvis?
no musical training, nothing. He just listened to the music and he could play
Play
the
by
music
ear.
back
Fucking hell.
straight away from like a 6-7-year-old.
Yeah.
Somebody seen him do it. He then went to this musical class, like this musical college, once a week. The teacher was like, he heard her play like up to a certain point. She stopped playing. She turned around and spotted him. Oh, Elton John's here. Elton's here. Okay, cool. Play me something. He played and stopped at the same point.
Because that's what
And she was like, why have you stopped? He went, because that's where you stopped.
that's insane.
And then she was like, what? And then that was it. And that's how all his music came. He literally, the other guy wrote all the lyrics. Elton John never wrote any lyrics.
Right, okay.
I can't remember his name. He's still Bernie. They're still together now. And he literally would read the lyrics and would just sit down and the music would just come.
No
Like
way.
he would just literally put a tune and he literally wrote like Candle in the Wind and Your Song and stuff like that. He wrote it in like 15 minutes in his living
That
room.
Lion King one's a banger.
Because he just listened to the words and be like, right, this needs to sound like this. And he'd
Circle
be
of
like,
Life.
Yeah, Circle of Life. And he'd just
banger.
sit there and he'd be like, okay, cool. And then it was just banger after banger after banger after banger. It's just a talent. Do you know what I mean? It's just pure raw talent.
Yeah.
But
I'll check it out then. It's on Netflix, isn't it?
I think so.
I think it is on
Rocketman, yeah,
Netflix.
it was trending. That's why we watched it.
Yeah. I'll check it out.
It's not interesting in terms of if you don't really care about Elton John, but just the history behind it, and you're like, fuck, I had no idea.
That's why with the Bohemian Rhapsody one, I think that's on Netflix as well. It's an entertaining watch.
Yeah, this was quite sad in places.
This one is as well, and because you know the songs as well,
that helps.
it does help. You know what I mean?
And there's not loads. There's probably 7 or 8 songs in it.
Oh, okay.
Really, it's more story than songs.
I saw it in the track. I remember the trailer for it. The guy looks like him a lot.
Sounds like him as well.
They've cast him well.
I think he's singing the songs as well.
Yeah, Rami Malek did in the.
That's it. Yeah, but it's
and he won an Oscar for it as well.
It's probably, I don't know. It's more story than songs. It's not like The Greatest Showman.
This week, Red Hot Chili Peppers sold their entire musical catalogue for $140 million.
Why?
Because they just got paid.
They really got any? Probably
They've got loads.
Have they though?
They have
5 or 6 bangers.
No, like if you think generationally as well, because there was that whole when they were junkies, there was like that era of them. There's Under the Bridge, Suck My Kiss, Breaking the Girl, Give It Away.
I mean,
they were Give It Away and Suck My Kiss were massive.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never heard Suck My Kiss. I don't think
you would have heard it,
but
again, it was a different genre of music.
Even so, you've
and then there was that Danny California one, and then there was that By the Way, and
maybe 10 songs then. But then 10 songs, then 10 songs worth like 10 million each.
Yeah.
Really?
Under the Bridge is probably worth 50 alone.
Please.
Under the Bridge is a banger.
Podcast fucking 27 is worth 5 million. Easy.
Easy.
I don't even know what that one was.
I don't know which one was
but
27.
I bet it's worth 5 mil.
27? No, I don't know. But 100, no. Do you think now it can be sold for commercials, for movie releases, for trailers, covers, anything?
Are you saying we should have invested in the Red Hot Chili Peppers instead of crypto?
No, I'm not. But I wonder if they're on the market. I wonder if there is like a thing. There must be. I'm not sure.
Because I don't think they're a floated company.
You can make yourself a limited company to buy shares into bands, though, with some bands.
Really?
Yeah.
Like who?
I don't know which ones.
Who's going to that level, or who's at that level to go, I know what we need to do.
Like
put ourselves on the stock exchange.
The Stones could, Metallica could. Beyonce
they're not. Yeah, but would you invest money in the Rolling Stones? Like, what are they going to do in the next 10 years?
Die.
Exactly. Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you fucked up, dude.
That's true.
Did you make a fucking killing?
That's true.
Which I'm not saying I'm promoting that, but
think of it that way.
Yeah,
the minute one of them pops it, back to back Stone songs, isn't it?
Dude, that's all it is. All you're going to hear. I mean, Keith Richards will never die, so he's not the thing.
Didn't think
but once Mick Jagger dies.
So you're better off investing in like end of life bands. You know what I mean? Rather
Which is
than
a horrible thing to say.
Like Beyonce.
She's got years ahead of her yet.
That's what I'm saying. You're only making what you've already made off Beyonce, but yeah, that's a good point.
Once they die.
Like Bieber's a bad bet.
Yeah, he's a bad bet. He's a Christian now as well, like a die-hard Christian.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I don't know if Christian or Catholic or whatever he is, but he always tweets about, or not tweets, he posts on Instagram about how much he loves God and God's great and God's working for you and him. It's bullshit. You know what I've been listening to those this week?
What?
So I went to like a little hangout with my mates on Saturday, and we were listening to loads of music whilst being drunk and singing along to it. A lot of Elton came on because my friend Becky is a big Elton fan. She's got a tattoo on her thigh of like Saturday Night's Alright or whatever the fuck it is. And I listened to ABBA. I fucking hate ABBA. But there's a theme in one of the songs, like the music even, and it sampled in a Madonna song, and that was stuck in my head. So on Sunday, I was like, what's that song? So it was Hung Up by Madonna. I started listening to that, and then went through all of Madonna's back.
I hate Madonna.
How can you hate Madonna? How can you hate Madonna? Yeah, she's 62 now.
Yeah, she looks it. Like a Virgin, banger. That's it. That's it.
Like a Prayer.
That's not bad.
True Blue.
Don't know.
Vogue.
What? Vogue. That's it. That's all she
Material
says.
girl. That's all she says. Express yourself, which is like an anthem
Is
of self-empowerment.
in a material. Is that Madonna?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I like that. I don't mind that one.
There you go. There's loads.
There's not loads. That's
There's
like 4.
loads. Ray of Light.
No, I fucking hate. That's one of my most hated
Really?
songs. I cannot bear that and that fucking Cher song. Do you believe?
I hate Cher.
Oh,
I hate Cher.
Oh.
Cher can get the Shoop Shoop song's a banger, but Cher can go fuck herself.
that Do You Believe song
Yeah.
and that Madonna's Ray of Light. If Ray of Light comes on, I immediately stop. I don't even turn the radio off. I stop the car, get out, lock the car, and walk off.
Burn it.
That's how much I hate
Burn
that
the
song.
car.
I can't bear
The
it.
only one I don't like, well, anything 2000 on was like her last song in the 90s was that Beautiful Stranger. That was on
Hate that one as well.
I love that track.
Oh man, that's
I remember,
terrible.
dude. I remember I was watching the video for it like yesterday. I was watching it on YouTube, and I remember how bad I fancied it when that video came out. And I was
looking.
16 when that video
She
came out.
wasn't good looking when she was young.
She was fine.
No.
She was fine.
No.
Like late 80s up until about 94, Madonna was just.
She's not Samantha Mumba hot.
Are you fucking serious?
You know what I mean?
You can't fight fucking Madonna with Samantha Mumba.
Oh, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Because she's got as many good songs.
No, what the? I can't. Honestly, Madonna was fucking fire.
I mean,
She was like the dirty version of Marilyn Monroe.
I don't even know what Marilyn Monroe is. She's
Yeah.
just that birdie skirt blew up. I don't know what she actually did.
She was an actress.
In what though?
Loads of films.
No, she wasn't. She
Some
wasn't
like it
even that
hot.
successful.
She was.
No, she wasn't. She was just a dirty bird.
She wasn't. She was famous because she fucked John F. Kennedy.
There you go then. Famous for being
Well,
a dirty bird.
She's not famous for that. She was famous and fucked John F. Kennedy.
She's basically Kimmy K of a previous
and now she's
generation.
famous for like all these really worldly quotes that she probably never
That's
made.
what I'm saying. She's basically the Kim Kardashian
Marilyn
of the
Monroe's hot as
60s,
fuck.
50s, whenever it was.
50s and
Yeah.
60s. But no, she was
Oh,
really,
it's my
really
bum.
hot.
Oh, take a picture quick. Everyone put it on the wall and get the tattoo. Fuck off.
She was really hot.
There'll be that fucking night vision picture of Kim Kardashian. People will be getting tattooed
You can't
soon.
compare Kim. Who's got no? I'm not an anti-Kim Kardashian person.
She's a
Fair
billionaire.
play to her. She's a billionaire. She's self-made. She turned a sex tape into a fucking
So did
empire.
Marilyn Monroe. It was just a different style
There
of
was
sex
no
tape.
sex tape. It
She
was
her
a-
skirt blew up with a great thing and you see the pants and that was it. Done.
That's not a sex tape.
It's the same thing. It was in the 50s.
It's literally not the same thing.
It was in
all.
the 50s.
But she
They
was-
had peep shows.
But she was talented. And Madonna, I'm sorry, Madonna's an icon. She's like Michael Jackson level,
No,
Prince
not
level.
even close.
How is she not?
No.
How is she not?
No.
No, no isn't an argument.
Is there a Madonna tour? Is there a Madonna, like, Broadway show? No, there's not.
How do you know?
Because there isn't. There's a
don't-
Prince one, there's a Michael Jackson one.
There might
So
be.
they're not on the same
They're
level.
both dead as well, though.
Okay.
So maybe when she dies, it'll be a thing.
But there's an Elton John one.
Yeah, but he probably did it.
There's a Queen one. Oh, Freddie's dead.
Yeah, and they did it.
They
So
did.
it's
Oh,
just
well,
a-
half of them did.
So it's, well, three quarters. But it's just the fact that she hasn't done it herself yet. If there isn't one, no, Madonna. I'm sorry, Madonna is iconic.
Wrong.
She is Prince and Michael Jackson level iconic.
As we've discussed, the level iconicness is Venga Boys and
No,
Backstreet Boys.
No, you're talking bullshit.
You can't put Madonna in
Of
the same
course you can.
category as them.
Yes, you can.
Not having it.
How can you? Who is then? Who female singer wise, female artist, not a band, is that level? Who's been generational as well? So you can't put like fucking Lady Gaga. 'Cause Lady Gaga is just a poor imitation of fucking Madonna anyway. So who could you put who has been around
Dolly
80s,
Parton.
90s? Dolly Parton probably could.
Yeah.
The 9 to 5 and that's it.
She's an icon.
She is. No, I don't think she's Madonna level though.
She's way above Madonna.
No, she's not.
Of course she is.
Name me three
I will
songs.
guarantee-
Name me 3 Dolly Parton songs.
I will bet you that if you spoke to Madonna, she would name Dolly Parton as part of her inspiration.
Yeah, that's fine. But that doesn't mean you can't surpass them.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Because she's older.
Michael Jackson's inspiration was James Brown, but I'd say Michael Jackson's bigger than James Brown is.
Is James Brown still alive?
No.
Oh.
He died like in the 90s, I think.
Oh. Wow.
That's good.
Was that James
That was
Brown?
good, yeah, yeah.
I know that. I don't know any of his songs.
feel good.
But I know. Oh, no, that one.
You know loads. You just listen to radio one all the time, and that's a problem.
I don't even really listen to that anymore.
Talk sport.
Mostly
not
watch,
Talk
no, I
Sport,
watch
Talk Radio.
YouTube, pretty much.
When you're driving, don't
Yeah,
tell that
just
camera.
have it on.
Just listen to it.
Because I've got premium, so when you close your phone, it still plays. So you don't have to close the app.
I'm sorry, I'm not having this Madonna thing though.
I'm not.
Madonna is. I'd still for Madonna now. I would still.
Even to the point where she was lesing off with Britney, and I'm like, no I'm not in.
No, 2000.
It's like kissing your nan goodbye.
The last 20 years of Madonna, the problem is now she's trying to be cool. Every time I see Madonna videos now, she's either trying to prove that she's still limber, still young, still hot, and still down with the kids.
But she was never them in the first place.
She was.
No.
Yes, she was. Honestly, like, if you look back at like the early 90s Madonna, she the Like a Prayer video had a black Jesus in it. She made out with him. There was burning crosses in the background. It was the most controversial video. MTV banned it.
Because she wanted that. It's not because that's what her thing was.
Yeah, but look at WAP now. WAP wouldn't exist without fucking her breaking doors down.
Same thing though, but you wouldn't call WAP iconic.
Well, no, because
it got banned and fucking whatever.
But what I'm saying, what she did, it wasn't just with that. There were loads of things that she did that were. She was the first person to really like sexualize herself in the music industry.
Did you nosh off fucking...
Nosh off.
What's that basketball player? Rodman. Dennis Rodman.
Yeah.
Was that her?
Yeah.
See, I know him more for that than I do her music.
No, I'm sorry.
Noshing off basketballers.
No. Madonna is iconic.
Wrong. Let us know in the comments
I'm
what you think.
I'm going to buy a Madonna t-shirt and wear it on the podcast next week.
Let us know in the comments.
And we're over.
Are you team Venga Boys or are you team Madonna?
Are you seriously? Like, I didn't even...
Just saying.
I honestly thought... I was having this conversation with someone earlier and they were like Spice Girls.
Know what I'm saying? I know they're a band, but still more iconic than Madonna.
Venga Boys are a band.
Yeah, I know.
But Spice Girls are not more iconic. Individually, not one of them is more iconic, let alone as a fucking band.
But they are, as a band, is what they are. They're no good on their own.
They're not. They're no good on their own.
Thanos' Jules. On their own.
They still do shit.
They do little bit. Together, change the world.
They didn't change the world.
With a click of a finger. Wannabe blew the world up. It changed the world. Girl power. There was a phenomenon. There wasn't just... Like, girl power was worldwide phenomena.
Did you say worldwide? It was here, America, and a bit of Europe.
Worldwide.
In Senegal, I don't think people were giving a fuck about it.
Oh, bet money on the fact that there was. Japan, China, they all went crazy for girl power.
Did you go crazy for girl power?
They're basically the suffragettes of our generation.
Oh my God.
Telling you. No. The Spice Girls are the suffragettes of our generation.
That's the quote for this week.
Let me say it then. The suffragettes. I can't say it now. The Spice Girls are the suffragettes of our generation. Clip it and ship it. We're out. Bye.
Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back next week.
Let us know what you think.
Peace and love.
Thanks for the peaches. Bye.
Bye.